welcome back to the Slow Commute Club. It's been a little while now since I switched to my bike, being my full-time form of commute, so I thought I would go through some of the reasons why I think commuting by bike is just better. So let's chat about it on my morning commute. One of the biggest benefits of commuting by bike is the costs, or lack thereof. It's very cheap to run a bike. In fact, there are, 100% cost savings on a bike trip versus a car trip. There are a lot of obvious costs associated with car ownership, like insurance, registration, petrol, parking, etc., the cost of the car itself. Even taking public transport here in Melbourne costs over $5 per trip, even if I was just going one stop. It's honestly ridiculous. So it's definitely a much more economically feasible option to ride a bike over driving a car or even taking public transport, at least in my city. I do say this is a benefit with a caveat. The bike world can be an expensive black hole of accessories, upgrades, and a desire to purchase more bikes than you'll ever need. I've only just fallen victim to this bike pandemonium, but I definitely don't think me and my wallet are getting out of it anytime soon. Biking is definitely the ultimate form of sustainable transport, maybe just aside from walking. With no carbon emissions, no fuels, no giant SUVs taking up 2 lanes, biking really trumps in this department. Unfortunately, in Australia, private vehicles are still definitely the most popular mode of transport, but there is a slow shift away from this in the inner cities anyway. In my day job, I'm an urban planner, so I definitely could go on about transport infrastructure quite a bit, but perhaps I'll just save that for another video and summarize with bike equals big win for the environment. When you're on a bike, you are definitely on your own time. For me personally, I really like that I know exactly how long my commute is going to take. I don't have to worry about the bus being delayed or there being traffic, so it just means I get to enjoy my mornings a bit more and I can just get on my bike and go. And I really like the predictability that this gives to my day. At the same time, it also means that I can leave places whenever I want. Well, unfortunately I can't leave work whenever I want, but I don't have to check the bus timetable or traffic when I'm leaving. I can just get up and go. Definitely a good benefit of riding is the incidental exercise. Whether you're coasting flat paths or powering up hilly climbs, riding your bike is definitely going to give you at least a little bit of exercise. And for someone like me who really struggles to fit exercise into my routine, it's perfect. I think especially on the days when I work in the office, I often am too tired or it's too dark when I come home to go for a run or do some exercise. But now I get some exercise just by commuting and it doesn't take up any extra time in my day. All I know is that it's definitely not bad for you. Somewhat in a similar vein to incidental exercise, riding my bike is almost like a form of meditation. There's something very regulating about the mechanical nature of just pedaling forward to keep 2 little wheels spinning. I really feel so grounded when I'm on my bike. It often feels like some of the only times that I have no other distractions but me and my mind, and gives me the clarity and space to process my thoughts. I think this is especially beneficial when I'm riding to and from work, as it provides some buffer time where I can get ready for the day or, often more importantly, decompress from 8 hours of staring at a tiny screen. And just like that, I'm done with work and I'm off to meet my partner and some friends for a lovely dinner of pierogies. One of my favourite things I love about riding is getting the opportunity to see streets or paths that you normally wouldn't see when you're driving or even walking. I've always been someone who finds joy or excitement in the mundane. I love riding down streets and looking at all the houses, thinking about how there are so many stories and so much history in each little home. And every time you ride somewhere, you can always choose a different route. So it's much less boring than just leaving your little home cube, getting in your car cube, and arriving at your work cube. At least that's how I think about it anyway. As someone who hasn't been a so-called member of the bike world for very long, one thing I've really noticed is the sense of community that it has brought. Whether it's just a friendly wave on the bike path, talking to someone at work about bikes, or even your comments as I start this YouTube journey. I feel really excited to have this whole community around me, and I can't wait to watch this community grow. I spoke a little bit about this in my last video, but as a woman, it's pretty rare that I'll go for a walk at night, because unfortunately in Australia, it just doesn't feel that safe. But when I'm on the bike, I have the freedom to ride the streets at night with a lot more confidence. It opens up options I wouldn't normally consider, like going out to an event without stressing about the walk home, or going out to dinner with my partner and riding home together. It's something that I didn't really consider when I started biking, but I think it's actually been one of the biggest benefits. And finally, riding a bike is just fun. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.